Africa is grappling with a devastating substance abuse crisis, with statistics showing the country's drug consumption is estimated to be twice the global norm and as much as 15% of the population struggling with this addiction. The scourge, which costs the nation an estimated 20 billion rand annually, has prompted a major proactive response from Gauteng Provincial Government. In a significant move to combat this epidemic, the Gauteng Provincial Government is launching the comprehensive Tswa Daar, Lapho anti-substance abuse campaign on October 27. More than just a law enforcement effort, Tswa Daar, meaning get out of there, is an emphatic and multifaceted intervention. The program aims to curb the crisis by providing immediate tangible support from mobile medical assessments and intake for treatment and profiling substance users for job opportunities and skills development. This campaign represents a critical shift, focusing on rehabilitation and socio-economic integration to break the cycle of addiction and crime. More on this, we look at how this holistic approach could chart a new path for thousands of South Africans and what it means for the fight against substance abuse in Gauteng. Joining us now is the spokesperson to the Premier of Gauteng, Mhlanga. Elijah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Take us through the mechanics of this campaign. What exactly is it that the Gauteng Provincial Government will be doing, and what outcomes are it hoping for?
Yeah, good afternoon, Oliver. So what we're trying to do here is to bring all government services to the residents of Gauteng. Tomorrow, the Premier will be in Tembisa, but MECs will be in all corridors of the province, which means all parts of the province will be covered. We are bringing a whole range of services, outpatient treatment, we're bringing counseling, we'll have medical professionals who will be on site as well, and we'll be offering beds for those that want to be admitted. Yes, we understand that we may have more people than we can accommodate, but we are going to get information from the people who need help so that we're able to assist them. But the approach is really that of care and support. We want to make sure that those families that are dealing with this issue, grappling with it, are getting the assistance that they need. We're hoping to try get as many of our young people off drugs and substance abuse as possible. So we really engaged with our stakeholders to make sure that we work together to address this matter.
Yeah. How long will this campaign run for? Is this a once-off?
No, it's not once-off. In fact, what we are doing now is to elevate the work that the Department of Social Development in Gauteng has already been doing. They have been hosting different activities across the province. Every Friday, they will be visiting a particular part of the province. That's why we are able to identify this need in this way so that it becomes an all-government and all-stakeholder approach. We are going to be continuing with this initiative even beyond the launch. The launch is just to activate residents of Gauteng to work together, sensitize them, tell them where services are going to be available and what form of services are going to be available. But beyond that, we'll be doing more work. We understand that this cannot be once off because it takes time for those that are addicted to come out of it, but also to advise people, provide counseling. That has to be an ongoing exercise.
To be clear, this is not a rehabilitation service.
Rehabilitation is part of many services that are going to be available. So we are going to say to those that need to be rehabilitated, we have the affidavits for those that need to go for admission. If you need any other service, it will also be available. So all services that are required for people to come off drugs, get help, support, are going to be available. Okay. So what we are asking for is that families that have a young one who's affected, or anybody else for that matter who's affected, they should come through to the different places tomorrow.
Yeah. How many rehabilitation, state-owned and state-operated rehabilitation centers exist in Gauteng, and what are their collective capacity?
The capacity of the centers in Gauteng is very small. That's why we're working with non-profit organizations who also have beds and facilities. We have about 470-something beds in Gauteng, which is very small. The number that's in need is way higher than that. Even the rehabilitation centers are already overloaded with young people who are coming there. That's why we're now partnering to ensure that we expand the services. We're making sure that we're getting all the information of those that need the different services to be allocated to the different places across the province.
Yeah, that 470 beds, is it that including NGOs that are supported by the state, or is this just state-operated beds?
No, just state-operated beds at the moment. But as others are coming off, then spaces become available. But we'll be getting the information so that we're able to determine the need as per the corridor where people are located. And we're hoping that tomorrow they'll come in numbers so that we're able to collect the data that we need for us to make the decisions.
Yeah. Let's talk about how much this will cost. In fact, how much has the Premier set aside for this campaign?
Well, there's no specific budget for it. We are using already available government services in terms of public health as well as social development services that are available. We've brought in other departments as well. So basically, each and every department has to chip in based on the work that they do where they are. They should utilize already available budget. There's no new money that is coming through for this. We are going to use existing resources to see how far that can take us. But we are going to be continuing with it to see if there's any budget that needs to be allocated to that. But for now, we're starting with what we have. That's why we've said everyone must get involved so that we're able to make a dent insofar as dealing with these challenges concerned.
Yeah, you had mentioned that part of the offering here and part of what hoped to be achieved here is to get some of these young people rehabilitated, but also to get them into skills and job opportunities. What are some of the opportunities pertaining to skills and job opportunities that the Gauteng Provincial Government will be making available, and where will it be coming from?
Yeah, so through the Nasisbani initiative, we are gathering data as well from young people who are not in education, not in employment, who are sitting at home with nothing to do. So we are making sure that the two projects talk together. Those young people who have nothing to do end up in drugs, abusing alcohol and other substances. So we are saying, if you come through tomorrow, we'll be able to interact with you, find out where you are and what you need, and then we'll redirect you to other opportunities that we have as a government, but other opportunities that we have together with our partners. So we are saying what's important is that we need to collect all this information for us to be able to create other initiatives that are going to address unemployment, but also keep our young people busy.
Yeah, the Nasispan initiative seems to be just a new iteration of what was Premier Makhura's Tshepo 1 million undertaking a couple of years back. How many job opportunities has the Nasispan initiative been able to deliver thus far?
For now, we're targeting 45,000. For now, we're at about 10,000 or more because we are redirecting our young people to different initiatives that we have. So you have the Department of Infrastructure Development running with one. You also have another one, the Department of Education also running another. In fact, the number is way more than that. If you look at the different skills programs that we have, also the young people that are coming through from a national initiative such as the Basic Education Initiative. So there's a large number of young people that we are getting busy. The challenge, though, is that these initiatives don't give young people like long-term employment. Instead, it gives them opportunities for them to train, to get skills, which then they can use elsewhere or use for employment opportunities in other places.
So to be clear, the 10,000 opportunities that have been created by the Nasispan initiative is a combination of the Teachers Assistance Program run by the Department of Labour on the one hand, as well as the EPWP program run by the Department of Infrastructure on the other hand. And these are the sort of opportunities that will be potentially made available to those who are rehabilitated through the Tswa Daar initiative. Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, so if you were to add the stats from the national initiative, then the numbers were more than that because they have about 35,000 or so from the BEI, which is run by the Department of Labour and Education. Just in Gauteng alone, we have our own numbers that are run from initiatives that are only based in Gauteng. So we are aiming to increase that. When we were inviting young people, we were saying we have 45,000 openings that we need to fill. So please come through. Right now, we're busy gathering that data that comes from the registration that we've had when we're interacting with young people. So we are saying we have many more opportunities that are there, and we want young people to come through, register so that we can know who they are and where they are and redirect them accordingly.
One such initiative that provided these opportunities for young people are the 6,000 young people that were appointed through the crime prevention wardens, which is now, we know, was illegally constituted and had to be disbanded. By the way, what happens in the interim, in the 18 months that the Gauteng Provincial Government said a lot of these young people will be retrained and reskilled? What happens to them in the 18-month interim period?
Well, it's not disbanded, it's continuing. As I'm speaking to you, they have been participating at the G20 dry run, which took place from Friday and yesterday. So they continue to do the work. The public protector said we needed to rectify that which has found to be wrong with it. So we continue to have them and continue to work. And these young people are not going to lose the opportunities that they've got. We are going to absorb them into the Gauteng Traffic Police. Those that qualify and those that don't are going to be deployed to municipalities. Municipalities have already requested them to go there to work as bylaw enforcement officers. Others have been requested by the Border Management Agency. As we speak, they are undergoing training as immigration officers. So no opportunity gained is going to be lost. So those numbers remain in place. Those 8,000 young people that we got from the crime prevention initiative, they will remain in those posts while they undergo training.
Under what statutory and regulatory framework do they continue their work? I mean, you've mentioned some interventions there. Border Management Authority, which is, of course, a national function, and they have their own statutory framework there. Presumably, where would that money would continue to, the money that pays their salary stipends will still continue to come from the Gauteng Provincial Government? Doesn't that raise financial management concerns there, that a program not of the province or out of a national institution is being funded by the province? Traffic officers on the one hand, what is the cap there? And also you mentioned, I think, there, by law enforcement officers, which is primarily a local government function. Where will the money come from that continue to pay them to be a part of these programs? But also, and secondary and importantly, what are the statutory and regulatory frameworks under which they continue to do this work?
Remember, in Gauteng, we have the Gauteng Traffic Police, so they fall under the Gauteng Traffic Police, to whom they are reporting at the moment. So it will continue under that banner. Budget, it was budgeted for, and that budget will continue to cover the costs as per the arrangement that had been made when the initiative was started.
So by-law enforcement officers and Border Management Authority officers will continue to report to the Gauteng Traffic Police?
Well, when whoever takes them, they take them and they use them for their own initiatives, and they make sure that they take care of them in that way. So we have provided an opportunity for young people to be selected.
So just for clarity there, so just for clarity, if the city of Joburg, for instance, said hypothetically, we'll take 500 by-law enforcement officers, what is the statutory framework under which they operate? You seem to say that it's the National Traffic Act, which is what they're currently operating under. But more importantly there, is if the line of reporting will remain that of the traffic police.
When they go to the city, remember the city has traffic wardens. They will fall under the traffic wardens of the city of Johannesburg, if it's Johannesburg. If the city of Ekurhuleni, they already have a designation there as peace officers, which means they will report under that particular regime. So there's no issue in that regard.
But the budgetary instrument remains a provincial one?
Well, as they transition, then that will have to change, because the city requires them based on the need, and they will have to go to the city. The city will have to take care of that.
Yeah. How much has the province spent on the CPW program?
Well, there was a budget. I don't know the exact figure right now, but it was budgeted for, and the MEC for Finance did confirm yesterday that the budget for the Department of Community Safety was 800 million. There's now been increased to about 2 billion rand, which means that there's been more resources allocated to the Department of Community Safety, so that we're able to elevate the fight against crime in the province. And we know that many South Africans, particularly those living in Gauteng, which is the center of the economy, are troubled by crime levels. That's why this initiative was created in the first place, to be a force multiplier when it comes to the work that the police are doing, because the ratio is very low when you look at the population of Gauteng at about 16, 17 million, and the number of police officers that we have. So we have redirected resources to ensure that we beef up resources at the Department of Community Safety for them to be able to be a little bit more efficient. We did not stop there, but we also supported SAPS itself with 3 helicopters and 700 vehicles in the last 2.5 years or so to make sure that they too are able to fight crime in Gauteng so that we're able to create a safe environment for our citizens.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to leave it there. Elijah, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Gauteng Provincial Government spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga talking to us.